Hello there, this is Dean Moses. I had the pleasure of interviewing the director and cast of The Dark at the Tribeca Film Festival. This is one of my favourite pieces of the festival, and I could tell just by talking to them that they really put their heart and soul into it. Be sure to check it out, and I hope you enjoy the interviews. First of all, I'll say I love the movie so much.
I love your accent so much, so this is going very well.
Thank you. What drew you to the project, my ask?
Oh, I mean, pretty much, as soon as I read the breakdown, like the actual breakdown of like, Nina's 16, or she was 16 at some point, she's dead now, and she's like, kind of got this feral anger and this monster, and she's literally a monster. I think I was just so immediately drawn to that, and I love playing dark roles, I love playing scary girls. That seems to be my genre is scary, angry girls, and I think I just immediately was like, I have to do this film. I was so obsessed with it, and then thankfully Justin actually liked it. Because I very rarely were you like, I gotta do this film, and the director's like, yeah, we want somebody who's like 6 feet tall and not you. You're like, okay, that's fine. But I think it was just kind of the stars aligned in terms of I was what he was looking for, and that to me was awesome. I loved it so much.
A lot of people might consider Nina a zombie, but obviously she's so much more than that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to describe it to people. I'm like, Nina's a zombie, but she's not like the zombie. She's like a smart zombie. I started saying like she's undead on the outside, but she's still alive in her mind. She's still capable and cognizant of what she's doing, unlike the way that usually zombies are supposed to be like. Right.
Well, I've got a question that actually comes from my sister because she wants to be an actress so much, and she wants to know, as an actress, how would you manage to tap in to like this, because she's obviously very distraught by different things that's happened to her. So how is it hard for you to tap into this, to that mindset?
Interestingly, for whatever reason, kind of my whole career, I've been able to tap into anger very easily. Like it was usually like the crying, emotional, or softer, happy scenes that I was like, this is hard. And it's the anger stuff just kind of came naturally to me. But it's really about it, in terms of being an actor, it's about leaning into what you can do well and what feels right to you and what feels like your natural instincts. And so I think that with Mina, I worked on obviously understanding her background and her past, and I did like a 50-page character
Really?
Bible.
Oh wow!
Yeah, where I
That's
wrote
very
out.
impressive.
I did a full map of like an emotional map of every scene and where it goes and why it's happening and what my thought processes are. And then you write all that and then you throw it out the window when you come to set, and you have to be like ready and pliable. But I think understanding the kind of background and then putting yourself in the anger and just kind of letting those emotions stew. I don't know how to get out. Yeah, at the end of the day, you just go like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed.
So as an actress, do you feel like you're kind of a writer as part when it comes to the character, seeing you did all that stuff?
Yeah. I write sometimes. Sometimes I write, and that's very important to me. Like I try to do that for pretty much all of my roles. Is really understanding. Like I like to know what my character's favorite food is. Like I like creating a person because we all have our favorite foods and colors and places that we like to go. So it's even if it's somebody who's undead, it's like, okay, well, when she was alive, what did she like to do? Where did she like to go? And she was an artist and writing a lot about visual art and how you see the world and then you try to interpret it through drawing. Like that to me was something that I gravitated towards, because I think all artists are kind of like that. We take sort of the anger and problems and difficulties in our life, and then we try to make art out of it.
Definitely.
We see how it goes.
Well, she felt very real. So, and also, how was the makeup process for you?
Oh, it was great. I would wake up at 4 a.m.
Right.
and I'd go to set and I would sit in makeup for 2 hours so that I could get my face done. And it was a prosthetic that kind of covered almost like a superhero mask. And then they would paint it, cover it in blood and grime and dirt. And then I had like teeth. I had like almost like retainers that made the teeth all dirty.
Right.
I had contact lenses that kind of gave me about 50% vision, which considering he saw nothing,
Right.
made it a little the blind leading the blind. But and then I had nails that were horrible, and I hated them because we couldn't fully glue them on because I'd have to take them off at night. And so it was just like they would just snap off anytime we had any kind of physical stuff. I was like, I think that should be like a drinking drinking game. If you can catch where my nails fall off in the scene,
Yeah.
you just take a
Did you
shot.
get any scars from running around the woods?
I was uninjured, I believe. I don't believe I suffered a single injury except I got a sty on my eye from the makeup at one point. So we had to. That was the day that we called in the stunt double to do a lot of the stunt work because I was like, I can't. My eye was like that. I was like, that's not a good look, even for a monster. That's not right.
Last question. What does it mean to you to be at the Tribeca Film Festival since it's got such a rich history?
Oh, it's really wonderful for me. This is my second film here, and I was here last year, and that was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I think that I'm such a fan of Tribeca because it supports true indie films. It supports true artists, and it's so inviting, and it's so loving of filmmakers and loving of film. And for me, that's like the best feeling because I don't think it should necessarily be about like, oh, the celebrity is here. I think it's about understanding, appreciating, and celebrating the art, and that's what I like.
Well, I'd love to hear you say it, so thank you so much. Time, much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Was the intro of the film. It was the slow of the gentleman discovering the house and then investigating it. Could you talk about that because it really left a lasting impression on me?
Yeah, that was a little bit of an homage to Hitchcock with Psycho. I was always kind of loved his playfulness with structure and really the Vertigo and Psycho. You know how the manipulation of the audience's expectations, and you probably noticed like with this film we play a lot with subjectivity, which is something I really like to work with. And so, you start the film and you feel like you're with one character, and then you can actually kind of feel the shift in subjectivity to Mina. So actually, the first kind of 15 minutes of this film is a character introduction for Mina through using kind of Carl, and then it kind of makes us. I mean, the whole film is kind of trying to walk that line of like putting us with the monster, which is our protagonist.
Oh, and the house itself, like you were talking about Hitchcock, the house itself almost in the woods, right, almost felt like a character in itself. Could you talk about if you felt the importance of making that a character?
Yeah, the house was always so pivotal. And it was just dumb luck that we found it. We went scouting in Canada, and it wasn't even on the list of things to look at. And then this location manager that we were talking to, Larry Evans, he said, there is this one house. I think you guys should take a look at it. And it's all existing as it is on. It's just like it's kind of a side house of. There's another house next to it that you don't see, obviously. And it was just so perfect, The upstairs is actually a build. We did in a studio, but the downstairs is as is.
And what does it mean to you to be at the Tribeca Film Festival, especially like debuting here as such a big festival? What does it mean to you?
It means a ton. Mostly, I'm from New York. I grew up about 40 minutes north of the city. I got my first job in film working in Tribeca for a producer there, and I went to the Columbia Grad Film Program. That's where I met my producer and best friend Florian Krugel, and that's where we started to develop the script. So it's like it's all New York. It's like seeped in New York, So it's really exciting to do it here.
And one more question: as a horror writer myself, I know that like horror is not just about the scares. It's it's usually a metaphor or there's a heart behind it. It seems a lot of heart between Mina. What would you like authors viewers to take away from seeing it?
I mean, this film definitely fits in the horror world, but I always kind of felt like this is a bit more of like a twisted fairy tale in a way, and I always knew I always kind of wanted this to be a bit different and kind of be a bit more emotional, and when you leave this film, I really wanted it to feel kind of like I care about these kids, and I want us to care about these kids and feel like, God, we gotta take these kids don't deserve this.
You really
They
don't.
deserve to be treated better, and so kind of feel the tragedy, even though they get a second chance, kind of thing, through each other. It's like they shouldn't have to go through this. Like we need to protect our children better.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
much
very much.
appreciated.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
What drew me to the part? The character. The character himself, I really like prosthetics, things like that.
Yeah.
So I was very interested in the character just because of the fact that he's blind. I feel like that added a lot to it. And it felt very unique, the character. And so I was very excited to even do the audition. And whenever I heard that I booked it, it was probably the most excited I've ever been to hear that I booked a role. I was in a hotel because we were filming season 2 of another show I'm on called Underground. Whenever I heard it, I was ecstatic.
So, Nina mentioned you were sort of blinded by your prosthetics. You really couldn't see. So, how was that experience for you?
It was blinding. For 8 to 9 hours a day, I couldn't see.
Yeah.
People guided me around, and it wasn't really completely authentic. Like I was living as the character, but it helped a lot to get into character. Especially like during the scenes, because everybody's quiet. You're in the woods, like on the leaves on the ground, talking to just the other character. So really felt very. It was a lot of fun. Really, it was something that I'm very glad I was able to do.
And as an actor, I wonder, because Nick is very sort of distraught from different things that have happened to him. How, as an actor, how is that to get into a role like that? Can you talk about what that you have to do?
I feel like the director Justin helped me a lot, and getting into it took a couple days, a couple weeks really, practicing and thinking about it. And but being blind combined with the way Justin helped me figure out the scenes. Like just the first day of shooting, I think I figured out the character, and so I was able to get into it pretty quickly, into the groove of it. And then as we went along, I was getting more into the character.
And what does it mean to you to be at the Tribeca Film Festival, seeing such a rich history here?
I'm very excited. I'm happy to be here.